Namaste.
Namaste.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sankhya philosophy. So, we were studying about the nature of Prakriti, the gunas, what is gunas, and now we have to know about Purusha, what is the nature of Purusha. So, just to revise, we saw what is Prakriti. The ultimate cause of the world is Prakriti. The nature of Prakriti, which is unintelligent. The Purusha is intelligent and unconscious. It is not conscious. It is not consciousness. And uncaused. It is not a cause of anything. And eternal, all pervading. This is the nature of Prakriti. It is all pervading, eternal, uncaused, unintelligent, unconscious. It is not conscious. It is a matter. It's a matter. But it is the cause of the world. The whole world got created from that Prakriti. And then we discussed about gunas. What are those gunas? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. And those gunas are constituents of Prakriti. And those gunas are invisible. It can be only inferred. It cannot be seen, but it can be inferred. Inferred means like we know that looking at the smoke, you infer there should be fire. So looking at the activities around, we can infer what kind of nature it is, what kind of guna it is, whether it is sattva, rajas, or tamas. Then the nature, what is sattva? What does sattva? Sattva is about joy, kindness, happiness, all that. And rajas is action oriented. Sattva is wisdom oriented and rajas is action oriented. All kind of activities are provoked by rajas. And then tamas. Tamas is stillness, dullness, or delusion. These are the nature of these three gunas. And they can never be separated. That also we saw in Sankhya philosophy. They cannot be separated. And at the same time, they depend on each other. They cannot be separate. They always together. And also they depend on each other. And they will have constant conflict in between them, as well as cooperation. They will be always cooperating each other, even though sometimes rajas wants to be the first, tamas wants to be the first, or sattva wants to be the first. So there will be conflict. Also they cooperate. They will be always together. And nature of things is determined by the predominant guna. So if somebody is very happy, that means the sattva is more and the rajas and tamas may be less. Sometimes any activity, when you look at some activities, we will know what is predominant. So sattva should be predominant. If somebody is doing good action, like helping others or showing the kindness, so this kind of activity, when we look at it, it looks like rajas is more. Rajas is because of active action, but predominance of sattva. So if somebody is doing something wrong, that means rajas we can see predominant by tamas. So that is what we have to understand. And this gunas keeps changing. It won't be always the same. The nature is to keep changing. And it cannot be destroyed or created or changed into one another. That is the nature. We saw all this up to the verse number 16. We saw all this. Now the nature of Purusha. What is Purusha? Purusha is conscious and intelligent. It is pure and perfect by nature. And inactive. It is inactive and productive. Inactive but very conscious. It is consciousness. Inactive, non-productive. Neither the Purusha is neither the cause nor the effect. It is neither of both. There is nothing coming out of Purusha, neither it has come out of something. And Purusha are many. That also we have to see now. We will see that. How it is many, the nature of Purusha. So in the verse number 17, which we are going to do now from Sankhya Karika, now the existence of Purusha is explained. So here it has given 5 reasons to show us, to explain us the existence of Purusha. So, Sangata Pararthatvat Trigunadi Viparyayat Adhishthanat Purushosti Bhoktra Bhavat Kaivalyartha Pravrattecha. Sangata Pararthatvat. So here it has, they have given us the 5 reasons to prove the existence of Purusha. So creation has come to existence for somebody. That is what is the reason. So it is said the whole creation is for someone to experience. Who is that? Purusha. It is for Purusha to experience. Because only when Purusha experiences in this Sankhya philosophy, Purusha is not the doer, but he experiences everything. Being doing nothing, he experiences. So Prakriti helps Purusha to provide all the experiences. So in a way, Prakriti helps Purusha to get moksha, that is liberation, by giving all the experiences. Because Purusha has to undergo the karma or prarabdha, whatever is there. So, because Purushas also are many, creation has come to existence for somebody. Who is that? For Purusha. And the second reason, Trigunadi Viparyayat. We, due to the differences, we see the differences due to the 3 gunas, differences. So all these gunas are different in different people. So that is the another reason. The differences, there are so many differences because of these 3 guna. And the third reason is Adhishthanat. There is someone who is controlling all this. So here Purusha is the controller. There is someone who controls all this. So we understand by this, there is a Purusha. Purusha controls everything. Bhoktra bhavat, Purusha only experiences. Now, what is meant by Purusha? What does he do? So, Purusha only experiences. And the fifth reason is Kaivalyat, Kaivalyartha Pravratecha. Everyone in this want to get released from the bondage. So that proves that there should be Purusha, because the Purusha, because generally everybody suffers from the sorrow. That is what we have to understand. So everybody wants to get rid of sorrow. Very naturally, everybody wants to get rid of sorrow. So because everyone wants to get released, okay, so that is also one of the proof to understand that Purusha exists, because Purusha wants to get rid of the sorrow. Okay, so this is what the 5 reasons they are giving us. Now, okay, they have given us the reason that how does Purusha exist, in what the different reasons. There are some 5 reasons they have given to make us understand that Purusha exists. Okay, now how many Purushas are there? That is what is explained. Is there one Purusha or many Purusha? So very interesting. Interestingly, they explain. They have their own reasons to prove that. Janma marana karananam pratiniyamad ayugapat pravrattecha Purusha bahutvam siddham traigunya viparyayachaiva. So Purusha bahutvam. There's no one Purusha. There are many Purusha. Those many jivas, the living beings are there. Those many Purushas are there. So many Purushas. So there is a very interesting way to prove that. How it is many. They say Janma Marana Karana Nam. So if there was one Purusha, okay, if it was one Purusha, and we see that many people are born and dead. This is what we see around. So if it was one Purusha, then if somebody would have died, all should be dying. All should be born. But it is not like that. We see different people die in different time and place and all that. And birth also we see different. So that is also a reason that Purusha cannot be one. So there is one philosophy, very interesting philosophy in India. So it is said, if one person gets enlightened, everybody will get enlightened. Because there is one consciousness. There is one Purusha. So that is the way they bring out their philosophy. So it is said, till now nobody has got enlightened yet, because we are all ignorant. We have not yet come out of the sorrow. So then we have to wait someone to get enlightened. If one person gets enlightened, we all get enlightened. Because being one consciousness. The consciousness within me, within you, there's no difference. It is only one consciousness, right? So one person gets enlightened, we all will get. So that is the way they understand the cosmic level. From the cosmic level, they say that if one person gets enlightened, we all get enlightened. But here it is said, due to the differences, that proves there is no one Purusha, there are Bahutvam. Bahutvam means many Purusha. And another reason is Traigunya Viparyaya. Because the differences in the nature, the gunas, many differences. It's not similar. All are not similar due to the guna. The nature of guna is not always the same. It keeps changing. That also we saw the nature of guna. It is full of changes. So that is also the proof that Purusha cannot be one. It is the Purusha should be many. It is not one. Then again, the nature of Purusha. What is the nature of Purusha? That is explained in the verse number 19. Tasmacha viparyayasad siddham sakshitvamasya purushasya kaivalyam madhyastam drashtatvam akrita bhavascha. Okay. So if you want to get moksha, that is liberation from the sorrow, then Viveka Khyati, they talk about Viveka Khyati. There is a word you also might have seen in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. The knowledge, Viveka Khyati. Knowledge about Vyakta, Avyakta, manifest, unmanifest, and Purusha. If you have this knowledge of three, you will be released. That is what we have to understand here. So that's why we are trying to know what is the nature of Purusha. And we have already seen what is meant by Vyakta, manifest and unmanifest, and the difference between manifest and unmanifest. So here, now we are looking into the nature of Purusha, because only through knowledge of these three, one can get released from the bondage. That is the contention of Sankhya. Okay. So here there are some reasons, or the nature of Purusha is explained. So they talk about Sakshitvam. The Purusha is the witness. Purusha is the knowledge. Knowledge is knowledge and witness. It doesn't do anything. It's just witness. Okay. And Kaivalyam is not bound. Is not bound. Madhyastam. He does not take or do anything. Remains in the middle. Like a middleman. They are neither this side or that side. Remains in the middle. Not doing anything. Not going after anything. So Madhyastam. And Drashtatvam. He is only the seer. Doesn't do anything. He is the seer. This is the nature of Purusha. So Sakshi, witness. The nature of Purusha is to be witness. And Kaivalyam, not bound. And Madhyastam, he does not take or do anything. He does not do anything. He just remains in the middle. Madhyastam means remains in the middle. And he is the seer, Drashtatvam. And Akrita Bhavascha, non-doer. Does not do anything, only experiences. The Purusha just experiences. It doesn't do anything. Now, how Purusha is witness, that we have to understand. It is said in this verse, the Purusha is the witness, and Purusha does not do anything. So now we have to understand how it is witnessed, how Purusha is being witnessed. So in the next verse, it is explained. Tasmat Sanyogada chetanam chetanavadiva lingam gunakartritvepi tatha karteva bhavatyudasinaha. Yeah. So you say, it is like, it is said in that manner that you say he is not the doer. But if you look at yourself, you do, right? I do many things. Everybody has knowledge that I do, I don't do, etc. So how you prove he is not the doer? I'm doing. I do many things. Sometimes I don't do. So then how you prove that Purusha is non-doer? Because already it is said Purusha are Bahutvam. There are many Purusha. So there should be Purusha within me also. Purusha in you also. So when I am doing things, how you say that? Purusha is not doing, not doer. It doesn't do anything. So tasmat tat sanyogat. Because Purusha is consciousness. Okay. Purusha is consciousness. Coming in contact, it also behaves like that. The Mahat, etc. Like, the Prakriti, Mahat, and Ahankara and all that, whatever has come out from Prakriti, they are coming in contact with the Purusha. It looks like Purusha is doing. Mahat is busy in thinking. Ahankara is identifying with oneself. All this is happening. So they give the example of the hot water in the pot. When the hot water is in the pot becomes hot. Why? Because the contact of hot water makes the pot hot. So, but what is hot there? Only the water. So when the pot comes in contact with the water, hot water, it looks as if the pot is hot because of the contact. Even though everything is done with the guna, the three guna, sattva, rajas, tamas, but Purusha is not affected, is not involved in anything. It is not bothered about anything. He is just like a magnet. In his presence, everything moves. Purusha is like a magnet. Some things get attracted, some things gets away from it. If it is uh, positive, negative, plus and minus, it gets attracted. If it is positive, positive, or negative, negative, it gets separated. So, but magnet doesn't do anything. Magnet is just sitting there. So exactly like that, Purusha is not doing anything. Because of the close contact, it looks as though it is doing, but Purusha is not the doer, non-doer. Yeah, so that is what is explained in this verse. Now next, same, the nature of Purusha. Purushasya darshanartham kaivalyartham tata pradhanasya pangvandha vadubhayoropi samyogas tatkritah sargah. So very interesting how they are related, the Purusha and Prakriti, how they are related, how they work together, being the nature, completely different, how they work. Here consciousness and The Prakriti is the matter. The nature of Purusha is consciousness, and Prakriti is the matter. How they relate to each other, because the Purusha is just experiencing. He's not doing anything, but still we see we are doing, the things are, changing, so many changes, everything we see. Even then, Purusha is being non-doer. He is always non-doer. How it is? So how does it functions? That is what is the question. How does all this happens then? So it is, they have given one example here. It is like Pangu, the person who is lame, who doesn't have lame, who cannot walk. Okay. And there is a person, one person who is blind. Two people are there. One is lame and one is blind. So now they both have to go somewhere for some function. Nearby village, there is a marriage or some function is there. They have to go. So how they can go together? So it is said the blind man carries the lame person on the shoulder. So the lame person sits on the shoulder of blind person. So then they both can reach to the place, right? Like the blind person cannot see, and the lame person can see, but he cannot walk. So the lame person becomes the eyes of a blind person. So he directs him in that way. That is what is the example here. That is an example to understand how it works. Okay. So then how does all this creation, why this all creation? What for? The creation is for what? For Purusha to experience. Purusha to experience. So they say when calf is born, when the calf is born, the cow gives milk for the sake of calf. And once the calf is grown up, then the milk is not given. There will be no milk for the calf. So that is the way the Prakriti works, to give experiences for Purusha, because it is very much needed to undergo the karma phala, etc. Whatever the prarabdha, whatever the karmas are there, he has that has to be balanced. It has to be get rid of. So that it is only for the sake of Purusha. The Prakriti does all this. All the creation is meant for Purusha to enjoy or Purusha to experience. So now the process of evolution is explained. We already have seen this, but in this verse, they again go in detail, one by one. We have seen the chart already, how it is coming from the Prakriti, Purusha, Mahat, Ahankara, and five organ of senses, the five organ of action, five organ of knowledge, and Manaha, mind, and five, the subtle elements, and from there, the five gross elements. Though they are all together is 24. So here it is little bit in detail. So from Prakriti, the Mahat, and from Mahat, Ahankara, and from Ahankara, all the 16. From Ahankara, the 16 principles. So we have already seen the five organ of action, 5 organ of knowledge, and manaha. They are 11, and 5 subtle elements. They are 16. And from each of that subtle element, the gross elements have come. Like from shabda, that is from sound, akasha, space, from shabda, space, and from sparsha, that is from the touch, the sense of touch, from touch, the vayu, that is air, and from rupa, that is form, rupa, the fire, teja has come, fire has come, and from rasa, that is now we are looking at the five, the subtle elements, from there the gross, the water has come, okay, and from the smell, the gandha, that is prativi. Prativi means earth. So rasa means taste, the sense of taste. From there, water, and from the gandha, that is from the smell, the prativi. Prativi has come. So this is again to remind us about that chart of the whole 24 elements or 24 principles. Now, one by one is explained from each verses of each thing, each principle. The first one is, what is Mahat? From Prakriti, Mahat comes first, right? Then Ahankara. So what does it do? And what is the nature of the Mahat? That is explained in the verse number 23. Adhyavasayo buddhihi, buddhir dharmo jnanam, viraga aishwaryam, sattvikametad drupam, tamasam tamasam asmad viparyayastam. Okay. Adhyavasayo buddhihi. Adhyavasayo. Here, adhyavasayo means the clear knowledge, deciding knowledge, that which has clear knowledge. Okay. So Mahat is also buddhi, intellect. Mahat is also called as buddhi, the Mahat. And if it is sattvika buddhi, okay, sattvika metad drupam. Yeah. If it is from sattvika buddhi, that is sattvic quality, then it will have dharma, jnanam, dharmaha, jnanam, viraga, aishwaryam. So if it is the Mahat means buddhi. If it is from sattvika, then it will have dharma. Dharma means doing good deeds or righteous life, etc. That is called dharma. And jnanam, knowledge, viraga, dispassion, and aishwaryam, supernatural powers. So if it is from sattvika buddhi, if it is sattvika buddhi, these are the qualities we'll have. And if it is tamasam, asmad viparyayastam, opposite, reverse, viparyaya. So if it is sattvic, then these are the qualities that Mahat will have. If it is opposite, then all the things will be opposite to this. What happens? Dharma means adharma. It becomes adharma, not righteous, not good deed. And then jnanam, then opposite to that is ajnanam. Ajnanam means ignorance. And vairagyam, there it is, dispassion was there. The sattvika nature will give dispassion. But here, opposite to dispassion is passion. Passion, aviraga. There it is vairagya. Here, aviraga. And there it was, in Sattvika Buddhi, it was Aishwaryam, that is supernatural powers. Here, Anishwaryam, opposite to that, reverse. No supernatural powers. So that is the nature of Buddhi, the intellect. If you have Sattvika Buddhi, then you will have all these qualities. If you don't have Sattvika Buddhi, then you will have all the opposite to that, whatever is Sattvika Buddhi. That is explained here. So here Mahat means the intellect. They made it very clear. Adhyavasaya, that which has clear knowledge, deciding knowledge. Okay. Now next is what? Ahankara. Now the nature of Ahankara is explained. Ahankara means ego. So when we say ego here, ego is not like a kind of egoistic man. Not that. Here it is like self identification. You identify with the self, with something. Okay. So that kind of identification, that I am this, I am so and so. So that is what we have to understand. So then in the verse number 24, Abhimano ahankaraha tasmad vividaha pravartate sargaha ekadashascha ganaha tanmatra panchakaschaiva. So now abhimanaha, owning things, this is mine. Now the nature of ego is explained. We already saw the buddhi, the intellect. What is intellect? Knowledge. Two kinds of buddhi. Two types of buddhi. One is sattvika buddhi, and there is opposite to that. So that is explained. Okay. Before that, in the mantra, the verse number 22, the whole evolution was explained from the nature, prakriti, and then Mahat, Ahankara, from Ahankara, 11 elements, the 5 organ of action, 5 organ of knowledge, and Manaha, mind, then 5 subtle elements, then gross elements. That is explained in the verse number 22. Now they are going one by one. The first one is Mahat. Mahat is explained. Now Ahankara, that is I-ness. So what is meant by that I-ness? It is owning things. This is mine. Self-important. Self-importance attached to it. That is Ahankara. So Tasmad Vividaha Sargaha. There are 2 types of creation. The same chart is explained here. Okay. It is very, because it is a text which goes elaborately. It wants to tell us everything. Now, we saw the chart. From Ahankara, there is a 2 arrow coming down, right? One is that 11, the group of 11. Another is 5 subtle elements. That is what is explained. So, Tasmad Vividaha Sargaha. There are 2 types of creation from Ahankara. One is the group of 11, the 5 organ of action, the 5 organ of knowledge, perception. And another is the 5 subtle elements. So this is the creation from Ahankara. What is the creation of Mahat intellect? Is ego. What is the creation of Prakriti? Is Mahat. From where Prakriti has come from? No, it is self-existent. The Purusha and Prakriti, they are not come from anything. They have no cause. But Purusha, neither the cause, neither the effect. The Prakriti has no cause, but it gets evolved. Okay. From Prakriti, Mahat comes. From Mahat, ego, Ahankara comes. From Ahankara, those two groups. One is the group of 11 and another is group of 5 together. So then, how does creation comes from Ahankara? From ego? From Ahankara, how does creation comes? How can Ahankara create those two groups? One group comes from Sattvika, that is group of 11. The group of 11 is out of Sattvika Guna. And the group of the Bhuta Dehe comes from Tamas. Bhuta Dehe means those 5 gross elements, they come from Tamas, the group of 5. Sattvikaha ekadashakaha pravartate vaikratad ahankarat bhutadehe tanmatraha sa tamasa tamasa teja asadu ubhayam. Okay. Tejasa ubhayam. So the group of 11 comes from Sattvik, from Sattva. And Bhutadehe Tanmatraha, they come from Tamas. And whatever is left is from Rajas. That is what we have to understand here. Okay. So this is what we understand from this verse. The the two groups, how they have evolved from Ahankara, ego. Now, the first group, the 11 senses. What are those 11 senses? Buddhi and Indriyani. Those 11, the 5 organ of action and 5 organ of perception, knowledge, and manaha, that is mind. So the 5 organ of knowledge, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, skin. So the power to see is that eyes. You have power to see and also to hear. So that is the work of each organ. But here it is just physical. It is explained. The 5 organ of knowledge, the eyes, ear, nose, tongue, skin. And what is the organ of action? The 5 organ of action, the organ of speech, hands, legs, organ of excretion, and organ of procreation. Okay. So organ of speech, where you use it for talking, etc. Hands. for grasping, taking things, legs for walking, and organ of excretion, the waste, and organ of procreation, a sexual organ. So the first one is the organ of the eyes, etc., are organ of knowledge. Jnanendriya. They are called Jnanendriyas. Jnanendriya means organ of knowledge. And the 5 Karmendriyas, the organ of action. And also, here it is in Sankhya, the mind is also taken as a Indriya, senses, one of the sense. So it is group of 11, 5 plus 5 and mind. So in Sankhya philosophy, mind is also considered as one of the senses. So now, what type of Indriya is the mind? They have explained the 11 Indriyas, the group of 10, 5 plus 5, and the mind also. It is taken as senses. So now it has to be explained what type of senses is that mind. Is it organ of knowledge or organ of action? In what group it comes? Mind is both. It is also organ of knowledge and it is also organ of action. That is what is explained in the verse number 27. Ubhayatmaka, ubhayatmakam, ubhayatmakam atra manaha. Ubhayatmakam atra manaha sankalpakam indriyam cha sadharmyat. So because mind has a sankalpa means to do something. You take a vow, in that sense it is to do or not, something like that. Mind helps to experience through indriyas, to senses. Mind is like a coordinator, you know. All the experiences, whatever is experienced through senses, the mind only coordinates. Like a postman, he helps to, just get all the coordinating between all the senses. So if you have a sattvika quality, so mind will be pure, it remains pure. And if you have a rajasika quality, then mind will be impure, in the sense it gets agitated. And also from what you eat, etc. So that is what is explained in this verse. It is also organ of knowledge, it is also organ of action, the mind. So first it was said, talked about 11, the group of 11, 5 organ of perception, 5 organ of action, and the mind. That was explained. What is meant by organ of action, what is meant by organ of perception. And after that, because mind is also considered as senses, in the next verse, that is 27, they're explaining about mind. What kind of, in which category it comes in. So it is said, the mind is both. It is also organ of knowledge, it is also organ of action. And nanatvam. It is said in this verse, there is one word, nanatvam. How many minds are there? So there are many minds because of external differences. There are many minds. It is not one mind. There are many things. So many mind. So that the mind is not it is not one mind. They talk about many mind. There are many minds, not one mind. Nanatvam. Nanatvam means many mind. So now, what is the work of senses? What does senses do exactly? What they do? The organ of knowledge. The organ of knowledge is Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha that we have seen. And organ of action. This is organ of knowledge. Shabda means sound. Sparsha means touch, the sense of touch. Rupa means form. Rasa means the sense of taste. Gandha means sense of smell. This is a organ of knowledge. So what is the activity? What work it does? We know already. The ears hears the sound, shabda, and sparsha, the touch, rupa, the form, seeing, etc. Rasa is for tasting, etc. Rasa, and gandha, the smell, for smelling. Okay, that is explained here. They are just going clearly, making us very clear about each activity of each senses. Okay. Then organ of action, hands, legs. Hands for what? And speech, the mouth, organ of speech. Hands to grasp things, legs to walk, excretion to leave all the waste material, and procreation. That is the work of all this 10 senses. Then from here they talk about antakarana, the mind. What is the special job of antakarana? So because it has a different category, the mind, in English generally we use the word mind, but in Sankhya it is group of three. When you say mind, means it is group of three. One is buddhi, and one is manaha. We will see in detail what is meant by manaha and buddhi, and then ahankara. These three put together is called mind. So from here he will talk about mind up to up to 30, 30, 33, 34. He talks about mind. What is meant by mind? That we will see in the next class. If you have any doubt, we can clear. Yeah.
Also very fast. Repeat again the three minds. This was fast.
Manaha, buddhi, ahankara.
Thank you.
That we will see in detail in the coming verses. They will explain each of them. What is that mean? But this group of three is called as mind.
Okay.
The buddhi means it decides. Manaha means it just records. And ahankara identifies. But from the verses we will see how they explain it.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.